visit the Dion-Bouton Motorette, a car with all the elegance of Paris. Today, Dan and Willie will force it to face the harsh Alaskan cold. And our brave hero Dan must confront his pièce de résistance.
Damn it, boy, pay attention.
Will he succeed or flounder like a baguette in the rain? The answers await under the hood.
Well, Willie, we're standing here in front of our, if my phone taught me to pronounce it correctly, 1901 Dion-Bouton. I mean, that's a very French-sounding name. So why do we have a French car in our American automobile collection?
It's a French design, but it's American built. It was built in New York.
Okay.
And we specialize in rare American cars. Well, when you see something like this, it has to be American built.
Established in France in 1883, the Dion-Bouton company was at the forefront of early automotive technology. They were known for their advanced two-cylinder internal combustion engines and rear suspension systems that were far ahead of the competition. In 1900, a licensed operation was set up in Brooklyn, New York to bring their French automotive designs to the American market. This was known as the Dion-Bouton Motorette Company.
Dion was building engines and selling them to different American companies for different power plants to be used in marine, motorcycles, cars, whatever. And so they wanted to build one of these cars in America.
How many horses do we have under the hood of this Dion-Bouton?
4.5.
That sounds like a good amount of horses for 1901. Yeah.
It is.
That's
when you think about being able to drive a vehicle at 20 to 25 miles an hour.
Looking at the car, I would not want to be the passenger because the passenger is facing the driver. And I just can't imagine going 25 miles an hour fully trusting the driver with my destiny.
But as a driver, I would be more comfortable having someone sitting up front as a cushion.
Talking about getting ejected from this wonderful car, Willie, odds of survival would be still fairly low, which I assume is similar to the survival odds of this car. I know that there were only a couple hundred of them built. How many are left?
I'm not sure the exact number of what's left, but very few. It's pretty much all original. It's been repainted and some things done to it, but all of the wood and stuff is still original on the car.
It's not preservation class, but it is.
No.
But it is all original.
It's a true survivor.
That's
Yes.
very cool.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen another one out in the wild before?
Not American built.
Willie, the Dion-Bouton Motorette Company, which I believe is the American company that was licensed to build this vehicle, they fought hard and to get the designs for this amazing car because this was a hot selling car over in Europe. It was known for its sophisticated design. So why did they only last for about a year?
I think the biggest reason was we didn't have a road system.
These early motorettes were fragile and couldn't handle the bumpy American terrain, especially since the cars had a narrow 43-inch track which didn't match the 56-inch track standard of American wagons. This often left one side of the car riding in the rough, making for an uncomfortable and unreliable ride.
And so that was probably the biggest reason that they just didn't survive.
Okay, so we needed hardier cars for a harsher environment.
Yeah, these are a little bit fragile.
But looking at the car, I mean, it is a beautiful car. It's compact, it's lightweight. I love the use of the chrome.
Yeah, and it's got pretty plush exterior, I guess you would call it on this car. It's got creature comforts, handles to hold on to when you're driving, especially on that front seat. It's got a backrest there so you don't fall off backwards.
And I love the steering column. I mean, it's kind of bizarre looking, but I assume it all works well.
Yes, it all is controlled right there in that column.
And then you've got your pedals of mysterious usage.
It does have a hand clutch. It has 2 forward gears. In reverses, the passenger jumps out and pushes you backwards if you need to back up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so. Dan, we're gonna take this out for a spin.
You gonna let
But
me drive?
to quote my granddad when he dealt with me as a child, damn it, boy, pay attention.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm ready.
All right, so we're gonna start the car. We're gonna get a little bit of throttle. We're gonna advance the timing just a touch. Turn on the ignition. Crank it to start it. Once it's started, we're gonna give it a little bit more advance, give a little throttle, pull it into gear, and away we go. Now we advance the throttle, we get up to speed, the engine's turning fast. We want to shift, we bring the throttle back, we put it in neutral, we bring the retarder back, we slow the engine down. Once it's slowed down, we go into high gear, we advance the timing and the throttle again. Away you go. Simple. Got it?
So, throttle.
Now
Okay.
you're having a problem out there, and you need to get somebody's attention, the mechanic's attention, or somebody's attention. So you got to sound this device, which is right here.
So
That's-
cute.
That's the last thing you need to know.
It's probably gonna be the last thing I ever hear too. So Willie, we were talking about creature comforts on this car. So, what kind of storage space would they give you in a car like this?
Well, it's not like most American cars. We don't have a huge trunk of some kind or extra storage space. So they did have a trunk area here.
Wow, that's a...
It
That ain't a truck bed.
It wouldn't even fit a good picnic.
Well, Willie, I guess I won't really be able to fit a lot of junk in this trunk, huh?
Back in the day, they didn't have much junk in the trunk.
So it's 1901. Little tiny car here. What kind of horsepower are we talking about in this bad boy?
Well, about 4.5 horsepower, and it's all stuffed under your seat.
Oh, good. That's exactly where I would like the hot mechanical engine to be.
Well, you think about if you're sitting in a saddle on a horse, you got 1 horsepower. Here, you're sitting on top of 4.5 horsepower.
All right, that's
20 to 25 mile an hour.
We like it compact.
It's kind of a hot rod for 1901, and you can see the engine back there. And
It's like a seat warmer too, right? Doubling
a
up.
little bit, yeah. So, Dan, you reminded me, we're gonna drive this car. We need to service the car before we do it. It's due for service.
Okay.
That's gonna be your job,
So what part of the service am I doing?
all of it,
All of it. Oh,
all of it.
Okay.
You can handle it. I got faith in you.
I can do that.
Yeah.
Yo,
Ding dong. Are we doing?
You're doing it.
Oh,
You're doing it. I'm not doing it.
We gotta open up and everything. Oh.
See these hands? They're clean.
Oh, but then these hands are rugged and manly and ready for work.
And we're gonna find out, aren't we? So what we do now is we go underneath and we drain the transmission
Okay.
and we drain the engine. Close the valves on those two, then we open the valve on the bottom of these tubes. That puts the correct amount of oil in the engine and the transmission.
Okay, so on the toboggan.
I gotta keep these precious bits clean.
Don't dunk your head in the oil pan. Here we are with an adjustable spanner wrench.
Boy.
Well, I assume our oil today is like the oil we use for engines, probably better quality than
A whole lot better quality than it was.
used back in the day.
Yeah,
Draining.
it's draining. Yep, it's a nice thing you can't get in a hurry.
Yeah, I didn't even get too much on my hands.
No. Okay, so open the valve and that drains the oil in these tubes into the crankcase and the transmission. Yep, and that's the exact amount of oil that they need. Pretty simple, isn't it?
Okay. All right. So what is next on the list?
Gasoline. But now you gotta find out how do we get to it. So it's right underneath the driver's seat, looking up front, and you notice that it's hinged. There you go.
Oh, there we go. Now,
Pull the fuel cap off.
all right. Bone dry.
Bone dry. It's pretty fuel efficient.
There we go.
We turn the ignition on.
I can imagine being back on the streets of New York. You got a busy meeting. And I'm ready for business.
We're serviced. We're ready to go.
All right, does this mean I'm a man now?
We'll find out. We'll see
did
how
that one.
long you last at 17 below zero.
Probably better than this car will, maybe. Maybe. Whew. Willie, I'm ready.
Hello, Dan. How we doing?
I'm good. I'm ready. Is this car ready?
Should be.
It doesn't.
Let's try it.
It doesn't look like it's big enough for me.
Get in. Don't jump in.
Oh yeah, no, I think it would split in half if I jumped. Careful. There we go. Okay. All right. So how do we start it up? Oh, there we go.
Seatbelt on.
Yeah. Yeah, we have those.
And away we go.
It's a very odd perspective.
Is that a truck?
So that's your throttle.
This is the throttle here.
And this is your
That's
shifter.
the retarder when you want to shift. This is the gear shift here.
But you know, the nice thing about sitting the wrong way is that the wind's hitting my back and not my face.
It's nice having you up here as kind of a windbreak.
Yeah, I feel like I'm a windshield, but it's also hitting my back, so it's not freezing my face, which is really
Right.
nice.
In 1902, after quality control issues and customer complaints piled up, the French parent company ended the licensing agreement, closing down the Brooklyn operation. Dion-Bouton continued to innovate in Europe, and the company lasted until 1932. But today, only a handful of the New York Motorettes survive, treasured by collectors as a symbol of early automotive ambition and the challenge of adapting European designs to the American conditions. Step into a place where every car has a story to tell here at the Fountainhead Antique Auto Museum. Comment, like, and subscribe. We got a lot of stuff coming to you. We'll see you soon.